On Game of Thrones, we watched the Stark family suffer through so much. And not just as a family, but as individuals, since they were scattered to the winds. Many seasons passed and it seemed like they would never see each other again. Especially when Arya teamed up with the Hound and he took her to the twins to take her to her mother and brother, and they just missed the Red Wedding. Then he took her to the Eyrie to her Aunt Lysa right after Littlefinger murdered her. When Arya started laughing hysterically, we could definitely relate. The Starks were our favorites and they were practically being tortured. Ned being named a traitor and beheaded, Catelyn and Robb's death at the Red Wedding, Sansa being sold in marriage to Joffrey, then to Tyrion, and finally to Ramsay Snow. I will never call him Bolton. He will always be Ramsay Snow, the bastard to me. Bran and Rickon on the run from Theon, then Bran going north of the Wall in search of the three-eyed raven. Jon and the Night's Watch, from steward to captured by the wildlings, to commander of the Night's Watch, to murdered by his own men. Arya had it the best, kind of. She was in disguise, so only a few people knew who she really was, and she spent most of her time either traveling Westeros or learning how to be an assassin. So after 6 seasons of trauma, when they finally started to be reunited, it was some of the most gratifying moments on television, and every moment was earned. They started with the duo who liked each other the least. In the books, Sansa referred to Jon as her half-brother every chance she could get, when every other Stark child, including Rickon, who in the book was only 3, referred to him as just brother. But after everything she went through, she was just happy to be with family. Added points for an older brother and protector. Next was Sansa and Bran. Not as warm and fuzzy on Bran's side because of how changed he was, but still satisfying to see another Stark come home to Winterfell. Then there was Arya and Sansa. The last time they saw each other, they couldn't stand each other, and Littlefinger tried to use their past against them. More on that later. But when they first saw each other, they were just happy to be sisters together once again.
You came home. I saw you at the crossroads.
You saw me?
I see quite a lot now.
Bran has visions.
I thought you might go to King's Landing.
So did I.
Why would you go back there?
Cersei's on her list of names.
Then Jon comes back from wooing the Dragon Queen and sees Bran for the first time. And then the reunion we've all waited for. Jon and Arya. It was sweet yet surprising all at once. Their mutual affection for each other had remained, but Arya had lived a life and wasn't the impressionable little sister that Jon had left behind. Before, I alluded to Littlefinger trying to come between the Stark sisters just as they were coming together again. Thankfully, they were smarter than that, and together with Bran, they confronted Littlefinger with all of his crimes before Arya slit his throat. Gruesome, but satisfying. Finally, after the long night, there was a moment where the siblings are in the God's Wood, confronting Jon about his Dragon Queen. The theme of this confrontation was that they were family and they needed to stand together. This is the moment that Jon chose to tell Arya and Sansa his real identity. I really wish they would have filmed their reactions to the truth, but it was rushed like everything else in this season. I'm going to end it here, frozen in time with all the Stark children together at Winterfell. If I go into what happens next, I will lose my cool. These moments with the last of the Starks were so gratifying because they were well earned. The more trauma they endured, the more satisfying it was to see them overcome. Well, near the end. The moment the Stark flags go up at Winterfell after the Battle of the Bastards was a reunion moment of its own. So that's why I always get a little misty watching the Stark children reunions. How do they make you feel? Tell me down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you know the next time I upload or go live. Thanks.